Hello everyone! In this video, I'm going to explain an important concept in Agent Studio, which is called static actions. Till now, you already have a basic understanding of how agents work. You know that actions are the tasks that an agent performs based on the user's query. You also know that skills are the workflows that can run proactively on behalf of the user. Now, static actions are slightly different from both of these. They are designed to handle scenarios where the user directly interacts with the system, and a predefined flow needs to be executed without any decision-making from the agent. What are static actions? Static actions are fixed and predefined workflows that are triggered when a user interacts with elements like buttons. In this case, the agent does not analyze the user query or decide what to do. Instead, the system directly executes the flow that you have already configured. This makes static actions very reliable and predictable. Why static actions are important? There are many real-world scenarios where you do not want the agent to make decisions. For example, if a user is approving or rejecting a task, you want that action to be handled exactly as expected, without any variation. Static actions are useful in such cases because they eliminate uncertainty and ensure that the execution is always correct. They are especially helpful when dealing with sensitive operations, where accuracy is very important. Where static actions are used. Static actions are commonly used with cards. Agent Studio supports cards in platforms like Google Chat, Microsoft Teams, and Canvas Chat. Inside these cards, you can create buttons, and each button can be linked to a static action. So, when a user clicks a button, the corresponding static action is triggered. Now let us understand this with a simple example. Assume that you have created a skill that sends a card to the user. This card contains tasks such as Task 1 and Task 2. For each task, there are two buttons available to the user. One is Approve and the other is Reject. For each button, we can associate URL or static action. Now, when the user clicks on either of these buttons, we want a predefined flow to run and send a confirmation message back to the user. To achieve this, first you need to create a static action. Go to the Agents section and open Static Actions. Click on the option to create a new static action and give it a name. For example, Approve Reject Action. Once you create it, you will see an On Action node. This node is very important. Whenever a user clicks a button, the data related to that button click is passed into this node. When configuring buttons, you can send parameters along with the action. For example, when the user clicks Approve, you can send a parameter with key as Action and value as Approve. Similarly, when the user clicks Reject, you can send the value as Reject. These parameters are then available inside the static action flow. Now, inside the static action, you will create the logic. You can add an if-else node to check what action was received. Now add two message user node and connect the if output with input of one message user node and connect the else output with input of another message user node. In the if condition, add conditions such as input.actionparams.action equals approve. If the value of action is approve, then you send a message saying that the task has been approved. If the value is not approve, then it means the user has rejected the task, and you send a message saying that the task has been rejected. For both cases, you can use message user nodes to send the response back. Now save the static action. Thus, our static action has been created. After creating the static action, the next step is to connect it to the buttons in your card. Go back to your skill and open the card configuration by clicking on the Visualize button in Card Template section. For each button, select the action type as Static Action. Then choose the static action that you created. After that, add the parameters. For the Approve button, set the value of action as Approve. For the Reject button, set the value as Reject. Repeat this configuration for all buttons in the card. Now you can test your setup, run the skill, and execute the workflow. You will receive the card in the chat application. When you click on Approve, the system will execute the static action and show a message that the task has been approved. When you click on Reject, it will show that the task has been rejected. What happens internally? Behind the scenes, the process is simple and efficient. The button click sends the parameters. the static action receives those parameters, the predefined flow is executed, and the result is sent back to the user. There is no involvement of AI decision-making in this process. To summarize, static actions are a powerful feature when you need precise and controlled execution. They are best suited for scenarios where you want predictable behavior and minimal error. By using static actions, you can design workflows that are reliable, efficient, and easy to manage. So that was all about static actions. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.